Well, hello, everybody. Wow, I cut off the music real quick there. Do you want to go back and do that again, everybody?
It's your podcast.
Yeah, I wasn't talking to you.
It's fair.
Everybody, we have a very special guest. By the way, welcome back. Comedy Therapy with Christian. It's Tuesday, January 13th. Very lucky number. Today I have a very special guest, an Asian friend of mine.
Friend's a generous word.
My friend Brian, what's your middle name?
Alexander.
Brian A. Rhude. And Brian, why don't you introduce yourself for our listeners here?
Oh, I don't know what do you want me to say? How do they normally?
What's your shtick? Who are you? Where do you come from? Where do you go?
The where do you come from question's a sticky one.
Okay, well, this is a sticky podcast.
I never know what to say when someone asks, where are you from? Because half of me wants to say Ellicott City, Maryland, which is where I've lived for 23 years. But I'm really skeptical about people. I find most of them are jerks.
Yes, I
would
agree.
I think that most of the time, without giving people the benefit of the doubt, they look at me and go, oh, he's Asian. He must not be from here. Where are you from? Expecting like Beijing or Seoul.
That's America for you.
Yeah. So I am from Daegu, South Korea.
Daegu.
Also pronounced Taegu. You can spell it with a D or a T. But I live in Maryland. Currently live across the street, actually, from Christian McCarran in Washington, D.C., the Catholic University of America. Fellow Mets fan.
Yes. We'll get to that in a minute.
That's not comedy, though.
No, that's yeah, that'll be the unhappy hour segment. So have you ever visited your hometown?
I have not. I do want to go back. I don't have much. Most people think that when I want to go back, that I'm going to want to go back to find my biological parents and all this stuff, and I'm not really interested in that. I've never had the issues of not seeing my adoptive parents as my parents. That's never been a thing for me.
Yes.
I'd love to know if I have siblings.
That'd be cool.
I would love if there's like 47 Brian Rhudes running around South Korea just causing terror.
All your siblings' names are Brian.
Yeah. They didn't even go for Korean names. They just went, oh, we'll name them Brian. Maybe you'll run into them.
Do you know the
one
name
day.
you were born with? Did you have a name you were born with?
Yes, actually.
What was it?
Because I was, I wasn't like some sort of fugitive child. They didn't like, they didn't find me in a basket like
and give you a number.
Yeah. This isn't Romulus and Remus. No, my
you're like Moses going down the Nile.
My Korean name is I don't think I've ever said this in public. Because you know why? Because I took a lot of
drugs.
No, definitely not those. I was the recipient of a lot of racial stereotyping
really?
in middle school and high school because I was Asian. Most of my friends will call me the whitest person they've ever met, though. So I didn't say it because when I would say it, people would use it against me, make fun of me. But my Korean name is Kim Young-wook. So if you know how Asian names work, of which I know very little, I do know that they go right to left instead of left to right. It's like reading Arabic. So my first name would have been Wook.
Wook.
Yeah.
Right.
My family name is Kim.
Very interesting.
Not really.
Okay. Well, moving right along. Wook, really?
Yeah.
I never took you for a Wook.
My godfather used to call me Wookiee, which I think is
okay.
advantageous with Star Wars recently coming out.
Yes, that is advantageous. Yeah. Did you see Star Wars?
I didn't. No, I want to.
No, you don't.
No?
No.
You didn't like it?
No, I hated it.
No. Christian's where I get most of my
your knowledge on
my
movies,
movie knowledge, yeah.
reactions. But you go in with your own opinion. You form your own opinion.
We saw Endgame together.
Yes, we did.
We did.
That was quite the time.
It was the time. It was a time.
There was a lot of screaming going
Did
on
you cry?
in the theater. No, I cried the second time I saw it.
Interesting.
I think I was too caught up in just waiting for the next thing to
happen.
Well,
because you watch movies in a different way than I watch movies.
Okay.
I don't watch movies to really pick them apart. I watch them for just straight entertainment.
Yeah. Well, I don't like to pick it apart most of the time, but like the first time with a movie like Endgame or Star Wars or something, I get caught up in the whole event of it. Like Endgame, especially since we went with everybody in the theater was from school. And so, like, it was a whole just shindig. And I think I was so caught up in everything that was going on that I couldn't really actually take in everything that was going on screen.
You were in the row in front of me.
Yes.
I was in the back.
Yes.
So it was like me and like 5 of our friends in a row. And I remember, I guess we don't need spoiler alerts, right? It's been a long time.
No, it's been a long time. Go.
When Tony died, I was dying. I mean, I was in tears. I wasn't actually dying. I was crying like a little baby, and I looked to my right, and like the 3 guys down the line were crying. And I looked to my left, and the 3 guys down the line were crying. And I was like, I'm in good company. I'm allowed to do this.
Yeah, you're allowed to cry. There's nothing wrong with crying. Do you believe in toxic masculinity?
That was a curveball. that was a 2014 Clayton Kershaw just southpaw 12-6. I do believe in toxic masculinity. There hasn't been a lot of comedy in this podcast yet.
No, the comedy comes out of the conversation.
Oh, all right.
It's just
I do. I think, we have to look at the reality that men and women are different, and there's beauty in that.
Very different.
Very, in a lot of ways. I don't know where you're going with that, but we're going to leave that right there.
I'm going from mostly a personality perspective.
Yeah, no, but I think, yes, I do believe in toxic masculinity, and I recently heard, I don't remember who. Oh, it was Gabriel Iglesias. Speaking of comedians,
he's a comedian
who said he doesn't speak about politics in his specials or on stage because he doesn't know enough about it, and he thinks you should be informed before you speak. So, in light of Fluffy. I'm not going to say more other than I believe it exists.
That's appropriate for this
because
podcast.
I don't have enough knowledge about it to talk about it.
Well, no, that's appropriate for this podcast because I started this as a distraction for everybody from politics and everything. Because you go out there, people are afraid to say who they voted for on either side of the track because they think they'll get shot, and it's a nasty world out there. And I'm like, you know what? If we could just avoid talking about politics, it'd be great. So let me ask you a couple personal questions.
All right.
What kind of deodorant do you use?
Wow, you're just going for the hard hitters right out the gate.
I don't think that. Oh, that's light.
Oh. Dove Men Plus Care.
Oh, I like Dove Men Plus Care.
Whatever the green one is, I don't know what the smell is.
That's not green.
No, the label is green. They have different colors on the labels for the deodorant. One of them's blue, one of them's green, one of them's yellow. So I use the green one.
Green is probably like a minty.
No, it's not at all.
Nobody has minty.
No minty deodorant.
Really?
Is someone licking your armpits?
No, I don't think so. I hope not. So Dove Men. What? What did you say? What did you say? What was that last word?
Menthol?
So Dove Men Care Plus.
No, Men Plus Care.
Men Plus Care.
I think.
Okay.
I'm not sponsored, but if you want to, Dove.
Yeah. All right. So I've used that in the past. It has a very clean smell, like you just came out of the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is...
Even if you haven't taken a shower.
That's not generally a problem for me, but I do know people that...
Well, I'm a night shower.
Issue. Oh, I see. I'm a morning shower.
Okay. Okay, I'll add the caveat. Because I do have to shower before I go to bed any night. I have to. I just cannot...
This is like a routine?
Yes. I cannot lay in my bed if I'm dirty. But since I take with that what you will, since I started working out, you have to shower after you work out.
Yeah.
You feel literally disgusting. So now I'm up to 2 a day.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. And it dries you out.
It does dry you out.
You got to have the right body wash.
Yeah. Oh, you see, I use bars of soap.
What type?
Irish Spring.
You go for the cheapest one on the rack.
It just smells really good.
I've seen that. I've seen that you're walking down the aisle in CVS and you're thinking, well, I have my box of granola bars and my Twix. I should get soap.
I don't eat Twix.
What do you eat?
Carrots.
Got my bag full of carrots and my Kit Kats. I guess I should grab soap.
Kit Kat.
Oh, good. The Irish Spring's 47 cents for 8.
But it's
I'll
great.
take that.
It's a great fucking soap. It's a fucking great soap. You cannot smell that soap and be like, oh, I'm disappointed in that.
I'm a body wash guy, though.
Okay,
this is more information than anyone ever wanted about either of us.
Some people are body wash people. I could never do it. I never felt clean with body wash.
Interesting.
But that's probably just because I've used bars of soap my whole life.
Question for you.
Yes.
Do you feel as though the efficacy, big word, I'm dropping big words here, your toilet needs to be flushed? It's running.
Yeah, I know. It does that. That drives the water bill up.
Yeah, you should get that fixed. We found that out the hard way. Do you think that the efficacy of your soap product, be it hands, shampoo, body, whatever, do you find as though the efficacy is influenced by the amount of suds that are made?
No. I think it's all in the technique. I think as long as you're scrubbing, and when you've given yourself a good scrub. If you're just going like this, that's not a scrub. You got to.
You know what I find is great for podcasts is visuals.
I know. You got to like grab your arm like you're giving yourself an Indian burn.
I don't think you can say that.
You ever got Indian burns when you were little?
No, I'm saying I don't think you can use that term anymore. It's probably offensive to someone.
This place is no place for political correctness, Brian.
All right. I just think
How do you rate the efficacy?
I think the more it suds, the more it works, and I know that's wrong. I know that there is nothing that says that is a gauge of effectiveness. But if my soap, like if my shampoo, does not like properly foam up, I think my hair is still dirty.
Yeah, I got to make sure I get in the grooves. What's your shampoo?
Head and Shoulders.
Me too. Old Spice Head and Shoulders. Me. Yeah.
No,
I am Head and Shoulders.
I just use regular 2-in-1.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
2-in-1.
Yeah.
2-in-1, but it's Old Spice.
Yeah. No, I'm not an Old Spice guy.
Oh wait, no. Might be peach.
Peach scented, or like Peach from Mario.
Well, I'm sure she smells nice too.
I wouldn't know.
I mean, she's constantly on the run, so I hope she's using deodorant.
That is true. I mean, if you had a giant fire-spitting turtle chasing after you all the time.
What is Bowser?
I don't know. It's like a dragon turtle. A jurtle.
Jurtle?
A dragon.
That's culturally insensitive.
Culture-y?
Culture-y. As soon as that left my mouth, I was
knew
like,
it was wrong.
Fuck. So your Head and Shoulders, and then your body wash is
Dove. That's Dove Men Plus Care. It's the same thing.
Okay. So then you come out of the shower
and go straight to the underarms with Dove.
How many strokes with the deodorant? Up and down. Because I do like 13 to 15.
Oh, that's way too much.
There's never too much.
I'm
13 to 15 strokes.
I think I'm like 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if it works, then it works.
I just think that's way too much deodorant.
I don't.
All right.
How can you have too much deodorant? You can have too much pit smell. That's for sure. If you don't put enough deodorant on.
That's true. And you this is probably an exclusive for the audience, but you sleep in a room with no windows.
I do.
So
I think I've mentioned that.
You have to be concerned about that.
Yes.
In a way that someone that has more ventilation, your room gets hot and you don't put it on enough deodorant, or you're not freshly clean.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hot box.
It's a petri dish in there.
Yeah. Not to be confused with our friend whose last name is Petrie.
No. So the past 2 nights, actually, it's gotten really cool in there.
So I think the audience should know that Christian and I
share a room.
Well, we sleep in the same room. Our beds are in the same position. I used to live in this apartment.
Yes.
And I moved out, and Christian moved in. And so where I used to live, which is actually the den, which has no windows.
Nope.
And a sliding door.
It's like a meat locker.
Yeah, except meat lockers are generally cool.
That would be nice if it felt like a meat locker in there.
Well, that would be pretty cold.
Well, you could use like 8 blankets then. That'd be great.
That's true. I will die on the hill that I would rather be cold than hot.
Oh, yeah.
I would rather my apartment be 60 degrees than 80.
Well, that's my thing. When I'm trying to sleep, if it's hot, I cannot sleep because I like to burrow. I like to bury myself in the blankets. If it's hot, you can't, and you're just like tossing and turning. Luckily, it's pretty cool when I fall asleep since I'm a night shower.
Well, and you have that air conditioner.
I do have a portable air conditioner and a fan and a cooling pillow as well.
Oh.
Yes, and cooling sheets.
Is that cooling pillow one that you have to like? Is there like an insert that you put into the freezer, or is it like?
No,
okay.
it's the fabric.
Because I have a friend that was telling me about he doesn't trust As Seen on TV because he bought some cooling pillow that you had to like put something in the freezer and then put it in the pillow and then it only lasts like an hour.
Well, my air conditioner is an As Seen on TV, and you have to put the filter. Well, you don't have to. It makes it better if you wet the filter. You run it under water, cold water, and then you leave it in the freezer for the day. This way, when you take it out, put it back in, it's blowing literally ice at you.
It's quite cold.
Oh, it's amazing. So we got a couple things down. You're Asian. You use Dove for both your soap and your deodorant. I'd also like to point out, Brian felt left out when I put my headset on, since I'm running the show, and I got to listen to how the mic levels are. He felt slighted because he didn't have a headset. So he's now wearing my Xbox headset, connected to nothing, but he was just playing with the connection.
I was turning the mic on and off.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. One of the things that bothers me is determining the appropriate distance that somebody is behind you in which you have to hold the door for them. You know what I'm saying?
Mine depends on what mood I'm in.
Oh, yeah, that's obviously.
So if I'm in a good mood, and you know what? It depends on who the person is behind me, and that sounds really messed up.
Okay. Elaborate.
If it's an old person, 100% holding the door open.
Yes, that's...
Unless that old person has been mean to me.
Okay. So unless it's like Scrooge.
I haven't met the guy, but yeah, I mean, hypothetically
he's pretty
speaking,
mean. Although he's reformed. He's probably also fictional.
I think you could replace that probably with definitely. And if I'm in a bad mood, I might just not hold the door.
Okay.
I'm that way with elevators.
With elevators?
I know this isn't your question, but I think about this a lot. Because in these apartment buildings, right, there's 2 elevators for the entire building. The biggest building, Cornerstone, there's more than that. But with our 2 buildings, for the most part, there's 2 elevators.
No stairs to get into the lobby. None. Only go out the building.
That's true, mine too. But I can get into the stairs. You can't from outside.
That's true. I can't. We used to. Because they used to just leave that door unlocked out there. Then I think some dude wandered in here and was like, ah!
Yeah, I don't think he did that, but that has happened before. But there will be times where I'm just so fed up with the day, or just feeling relatively, middle of the road, where I will hear the door of the building open and know that person 80% is coming to an elevator, and that other 20% is that they're checking their mail, and I will hold the door close button.
Yeah. Because I'm not waiting for people to check their mail.
No, not even that. I don't want to be in the elevator with you.
No. I hate walking into an elevator when there's people in there.
Yeah.
And then especially when they smile at you. I'm like, what are you smiling at?
Well, and then do you make... sorry. There is no question is, do you make conversation? The answer is no. But do they make conversation?
Right.
Then you got to deal with that.
Here's the question. You go into an elevator.
Yep.
My protocol is, if there's somebody in there or somebody walks in before you and they're the ones at the buttons, they should ask which floor you're going
100%.
to, correct? How do you feel when you walk in, they don't say anything, they just push their button, hoping that for some chance...
They're terrible human beings.
You're going to... Right? That's awful.
There's no other possible answer to that other than that they are just terrible people.
That I have to reach over, not only push the button, but scan my card, too. And then
you should like brush them with your arm as you do that, and just like kind of make a point, like just like punch them in the face, and as you're
like,
oh,
I'm sorry,
just,
I got a muscle spasm issue.
I twitch.
I do twitch.
I had a friend in high school who had Tourette's, like literally, and his yearbook quote was "Life's a twitch." They let him do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, at least he had a good sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that bothers me. Also, I don't know how you feel. I mean, I know I have the New York complex, but when people are walking slow.
Oh, I will. That happened in the airport. My mom and I came back from a vacation, and there were these two women, God bless them, that were a little older, but not old enough where there should have been an excuse, and they were just meandering. Like, it wasn't walking.
And it's an airport. You don't meander through an airport.
I was trying to get to the luggage. I wanted to go home, and I just looked at Mom and just kind of use a turn signal.
You have to go split up.
Yeah, I was like, we're going. Just go around.
Yeah, just go around.
Yeah.
Well, that's my thing is, because you mentioned before with holding the door, if they're old, I have a few excuses for people who are walking slow. If they're old, you have every right. If you're in a wheelchair, obviously you can only go so fast.
Some would argue they're not even walking.
Some would argue they're not walking. If you have some kind of disability, or if you're a child. Anything else?
What are we considering child?
Short legs.
The Houston Astros, we're going to break into baseball right now.
Oh, boy.
Because we have some...
Let's do it.
Some recently broken
Let's
news. The GM and manager of the Astros have been suspended for the season.
Oh, boy.
For stealing signs in the 2017 World Series.
What's his
2017
name?
World Series. AJ Hinch.
I thought his name was like Cutler or something. I don't know why.
Oh, well, the manager's name is AJ Hinch. I don't know what the... Jeff Luhnow.
Yeah, I don't know where I got Cutler from.
Jay Cutler. Suspended without pay for the entire year. They have to forfeit their first and second round picks in this year's draft and next year's draft.
They can forget the series this year.
And they'll be fined $5 million.
Yeah. That's going to hurt the budget.
Well, the question is, though, what does this do about Beltran? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Have they brought him into it? That's the question. Carlos Beltran, if you're out there, if you're listening, if you listen to this podcast somewhere.
No players are suspended.
No players are suspended.
No players suspended.
That's right. He was a player. So.
Even though he was the only player whose name was included in the report.
Holy shit. Oh, my God.
Well, Brody responded.
What'd he say?
He said, try to find it again. He said, Beltran looks at the little things. He looks for tips. He looks for any weakness that he can exploit in game planning. He did it as a player, and we know he's going to be the key part of his success.
Say that again.
Beltran looks at the little things. He looks for tips. He looks for any weaknesses that he can exploit in game planning. He did it as a player, and we know he's going to be a key part of his success as a manager. So basically, he's saying, yeah, he cheated.
Yeah.
And we hope he does it more.
Oh! More prestige for the Mets.
Hey, I mean, listen, if Bobby Valentine can put on clown glasses and a fake mustache.
Fucking Bobby Valentine.
I think Carlos can...
Hey, Carlos. How do you feel about the Mets?
It's a loaded question.
Yeah, not in general, but this year.
I'm optimistic. I think they've got another move in them for the offseason. Pitchers and catchers report in 27 days.
But who's counting?
Not me. I still want them to go. We were talking about this earlier. Brandon Nimmo was named the 9th best center fielder by MLB Network in baseball, not on the Mets. But I still think they should go get Starling
That'd be
Martin.
pretty bad if it was
That would be pretty bad. Yeah. You know, it's like Jake Marisnick, Jacob deGrom.
Yeah.
You know, Chili Davis.
Chili. He's staying, right?
He's staying.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Chili's staying with us.
I like what he did.
You know, I interviewed Jeremy Hefner once. New pitching coach. I did.
For what?
My AP Lang paper.
What's AP
in high school? AP English language.
Oh.
In high school.
Okay.
Was on why people choose the game of baseball. From the position from players, media, and fans. Why are they attracted to the game? So I interviewed 4 people. Interviewed Michael G. Barron, who used to write for MetsBlog.com. Interviewed John Minconi, who was a minor league pitcher for the Mets. Never made it to the bigs. And Jeremy Hafner and David Ardsma, former relief pitcher.
How do you feel? Do you think he's going to be a good pitching coach? I don't know that much about him.
He people speak really highly about him from the Twins. I mean, he was good with analytics, and I think really made some adjustments for some of their pitchers.
Poor Vulture.
Yeah, poor Phil Regan, 82 years old. He didn't die.
No, he did not die.
No, just he doesn't have a job anymore. With
he may have fought in the Korean War, but
he might have fought in the Revolutionary War.
Yeah. You know what was funny though? He was obviously the oldest pitching coach in baseball by a long shot.
He might have had the fastest time to the mound, though.
That, and I'm glad you took the headphones off. He was supposedly all about using the new technology and everything with analytics.
Yeah.
That he was, like, really up on that shit.
Which the Mets as an organization aren't good about.
No.
So the fact that Phil was willing to do it, I think probably gave them a message that, listen, it's not sustainable for us to have an 83-year-old pitching coach.
Yeah.
But we can find a guy who thinks along the same lines as Phil. Jeremy was never a great pitcher in the majors, and I hope he doesn't listen to this. But I think he's a great baseball mind. He's a nice enough guy.
He's a nice guy. You can call him up. You know him.
No, I can't. I might have his email somewhere, though.
Maybe I'll email him. I'll get a job with the Mets.
I don't think you should.
Why? Why can't I email? I'll be like, hey, Jer.
Jer Bear?
Jer Bear? Is that what they call him?
That's what you could call him.
All right. I'll give him an email. Send him an email. Shoot him an email.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you can't say the word shoot.
No, especially not in a crowded room.
Get this. So last night, this is funny. I saw the movie 1917 last night.
Good year.
Yep. Over 100 years ago.
That's true, 103.
Very good. Very good,
I
Brian.
passed math.
So there were like 10 of us, and we went to see this movie, and then we went to Hibachi afterwards.
Is the reason you're telling me this story because you went to Hibachi?
No.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with it.
I'm just making sure.
See, this is what people do. They just take what people say and they go, that's why you're saying it.
You know, Ricky Gervais said that. I just listened to his comedy special last night from 2018. It's
Did
awful.
you watch his Golden Globes thing?
I didn't. I heard about it, though.
It's great.
I didn't watch it. I saw a clip, and I saw Tom Hanks' face.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's just petrified.
Do you like Ricky Gervais?
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of funny, but he's very crass.
Yes, I think that's his shtick.
Right, but I mean, so is Bert Kreischer, but I think Bert Kreischer's funny.
Yeah. There's also the whole British thing. That it's.
Oh, no, I love Brits.
London, I love Brits.
London is my favorite place in the entire world.
Okay.
So it's not that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just don't find him terribly
It's just
funny.
his style is not your thing.
Yeah. That was Christian and I just we grocery shopped together.
Yeah, it was cute.
It's the fraternity of men that used to live in the den.
The fraternity of men in the den.
But I was thinking about a friend of mine who was picking up another friend. They were.
Do I know these people?
You do, but I don't want to use names on here.
I just use names.
Yeah, I'm not you.
Okay.
One of them was staying at the other one's house, and I was like, "Oh, are you picking them up from the airport?" And they're like, no, they're metroing to a stop closer to my house. I was like, "Oh, that's a real missed opportunity to write a sign and to bring a sign into the airport." I told you this earlier. That says, we knew the charges wouldn't stick. Congratulations, or we knew you'd make parole, or congrats on finishing rehab. So we were walking through Giant.
Congrats on finishing rehab.
Down this aisle because I was looking for notebooks because school starts for me tomorrow and I didn't have notebooks, but then I realized I did. Yeah, and we're walking and this woman walks past us and I go, well, Christian, I'm really happy you made parole because shopping was just no fun by myself, and just turned the corner and left. And I didn't see her face, but I really wanted to.
I have never been told that because anytime a white guy gets locked up, it's for something fucking bad. It's for something bad. Like, you know that guy did bad shit. That he's, like, bad. You know what I'm saying? Especially a guy that looks like me. So you're like, what the fuck did this animal do?
I mean, I was thinking something more like tax evasion or...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Something like white collar?
Mundane, yeah.
Oh.
Martha Stewart went to prison.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Tax evasion.
She did. What?
Tax evasion.
Tax evasion.
Yeah.
Correct. Who else has gone to prison?
A lot of people.
Bill Cosby. America's dad.
We don't need to talk about that.
Who else?
A lot of people have been.
Who else has been in the can? Why are your feet moving like that? You doing a pee-pee dance or something?
No, it's just like a nervous tick, I guess.
Nervous tick.
Yeah, I had a nervous flea, but I thought tick was better.
Shut up! That's like a Nick joke.
I've got a dad joke for you.
All right, let's hear it.
So an ancient Greek walks into the tailor. He's got a pair of jeans, and he puts them up on the counter. And the guy behind the counter looks at these and looks at the jeans and goes, "Euripides."
You can leave now.
I stole that from Hank Green, the author of.
Trying to think of one.
I can't remember the name of his book.
Here's one.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. So, this guy walks into a confessional.
I don't know if we should tell this joke.
This has nothing to do with...
An absolutely remarkable thing. That's Hank Green's book, plugging that.
Okay.
You can buy it online and at any local bookstore.
Thank you for that. So, this guy walks into a confessional, and it's not face-to-face. It's...
yeah, behind the screen.
Behind the screen. And so basically, this guy, I might have told this joke on the air before, but I don't know if I've ever told it to you. So the priest is waiting for the guy to talk. He doesn't say anything when he gets in there. He just hears him like breathing. He's like,
That's good, at least breathing.
Yeah. And there's no, bless me, Father, for I have sinned, blah, blah, blah. There's none of that. So he goes, all right, let me clear my throat. Maybe he doesn't know that I'm here. So he's like, the guy's still not talking. So he hears him breathing. He's like, I really don't know what's going on. What is this guy, like a mute? I don't know what the hell's happening here. He goes, let me clear my throat again. And he goes, then he finally hears the guy talking. He goes, yeah, don't ask. There's no toilet paper on this side either.
That's not what I was expecting. There's an old ship back in the 1600s. And up from the crow's nest, the lookout yells down, "Captain, there's an enemy ship on the horizon." The captain goes, "All right, bring me my red shirt." The guy's like, "All right, it's kind of weird." And goes and grabs him the shirt, and this battle ensues, and it's great. And the captain and the ship, they win, right? They win this battle. And the lookout comes back to the captain after the battle, and he's like, "I got to ask you a question. Before the battle, you asked for your red shirt. Why is that?" And the captain went, "Because then, if I were to be shot or stabbed in battle, the crew would not notice and would continue to fight." And the guy's like, "Oh, that's actually really cool. That's really cool." And the next morning, the guy from the crow's nest yells down, "Captain, there's 3 enemy ships on the horizon." And the captain goes, "Get me my brown pants."
Here's one.
Yep.
Guy walks into a bar, and this guy got Oh, are you Snapchatting during this?
Wait, what's it to you?
People aren't going to know what that mic is. And it's just you back there. So, guy walks into a bar, extremely drunk. Well, maybe he didn't just walk in. He's in the bar already. He has been drinking. Extremely drunk. He threw up all over his shirt. Okay? You following?
No, I got you.
He threw up all over his shirt.
Yep.
So he says to the bartender, he goes, he's like, "What the hell am I going to do? My wife just bought me this shirt, and I don't want her to know I was out drinking this much. Like, it's not good, man. It's not fucking good." So the bartender goes, do what I do. I used to do this all the time. he says, take a $10 bill. He says, put it in your front pocket and say that this really drunk guy threw up all over you, but he gave you $10 for dry cleaning. And he's like, it's a good idea. I'm going to do that. So he walks in. His wife's laying in bed. She's still got the light on. She sees the vomit all over his shirt. And he's like, hey, hon. And she's like, oh, my God, what the hell happened? What did you do? And he goes, don't worry. It was this really drunk guy, but he gave me $10 for the dry cleaning, for the shirt. And she looks at it. She goes, this is a $20 bill. And he goes, yeah, he shit all over my pants, too.
My jokes are a little more tame than yours. I've noticed for every time I go down a step, you go up too.
I mean, poop jokes, they're always funny.
This guy goes to the doctor. Hasn't been feeling well for a couple months.
That's why you go to the doctor.
That's why you go to the doctor. Goes to the doctor, waiting. He's had some tests run, and he's waiting, and he's waiting, and waiting. And finally, the doctor comes in, and the doctor goes, well, I'm really sorry to tell you, but you only have 24 hours to live. And but I have worse news. And the guy's like, how can you have worse news than that? I have 24 hours to live. And the doctor goes, yeah, but I forgot to tell you yesterday.
This doctor goes to write a patient a prescription. He reaches into his pocket to get his pen, but pulls out a rectal thermometer.
Oh, my God. See what I mean?
He goes, shit, some asshole's got my pen. You know Nick's FBI joke, right? About the 3 guys training for the top position in the FBI?
No.
All right, here we go. 3 guys are training for the top position in the FBI. This is the final test, all right? Big time. So the guy conducting this says, all right, you guys have reached the final test. Inside each of these 3 rooms is your wife tied to a chair. You need to take this gun. You need to go kill your wife.
This is like Kingsman with the dogs?
Yes, that part made me upset. And so the first guy goes in. Silence. Nothing. He comes back out and he goes, I can't do this. I can't kill my wife. It's not worth it. Nothing's worth that. He's like, well, it's the ultimate test. Give me the gun. Second guy goes into his room. His wife's tied in the chair. It's a little more chatter on this one. A little more discussion. But he comes out and he says, I can't, I can't do this. I can't kill my wife. No job is worth that. Third guy goes into the room and he's silent. Then all of a sudden you hear click, click, click. He comes out. He's sweating like a pig. The FBI guy's like, what the hell happened? He goes, some asshole put blanks in the gun. I had to beat it to death with the chair.
Oh, that's awful. Oh, my gosh. So a lady goes to the doctor.
Oh, boy.
Lady goes to the doctor, and she's been having some stomach pains for the past couple months.
Uh-huh.
On and off. Nothing too super serious. But she went, and the doctor's like, all right, tell me what's going on. Give me an idea of what your daily routine is. And she goes, well, every morning I wake up at 6 a.m. and I have coffee. I go for a run. I come back, eat, take a shower, and then at 8 a.m. I have a bowel movement. Uh-huh. And the doctor goes, okay. The rest of her day is pretty mundane. And the doctor says, okay, let's run some tests. All of my jokes have been about doctors.
Yeah.
Except for the pirate one. He says, all right, let's run some tests. They do some tests, do some imaging. The doctor comes back and he says, well, ma'am, you have 3 worms in your stomach, 3 parasites. And we're going to have to go in tomorrow and do surgery and take them out. We'll schedule it for the afternoon. And goes, okay, so then the 3 worms are inside this woman. And the first one goes, did you guys hear that? And the second one goes, yeah. I'm gonna hide behind the spleen. The third one goes, yeah, I'm gonna hide behind the liver. And the first one goes, I don't know about you guys, but I'm catching the 8 a.m. out of here.
The 8 a.m. shit.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. This one's actually a true story. This isn't a joke. but it's something that makes me laugh all the time. My uncle's wife, it's his second wife, so my uncle's wife, she works. She worked in a doctor's office, and it was like a small place. He handled kind of like special cases. So she would always be the one who would take the person back into the back, into one of the rooms before the doctor came in and asked them questions, whatever. And this guy had a bit of an issue. His rectum was pretty punctured.
No, hold on. No. I'm noticing a trend with yours.
To the point where, like, it was starting to damage his colon. And she's in there for a little bit when the doctor's in there, and he says, listen, he's like, buddy, so this guy had a little bit of an obsession. And he's like, listen, man, you can't keep doing stuff like this. And the exact line the guy said was, Doc, I'm sorry, I just can't stop sticking things up my ass.
I forgot that this wasn't a joke.
No, it wasn't.
About halfway through.
It was real.
I'm like, where's the punchline? There is no punchline. He's like,
no
it's
punchline.
a story. Yeah.
Don't tell me you're going to relate to that story.
No,
somehow.
I can't relate to that story.
We're coming up on 47 minutes here. Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun? Question mark?
Yeah. Any lasting things you want to plug? Or given our last conversation, that shouldn't really
yeah, plugs. I didn't mean that. Yeah, I've got a couple things coming up.
What you got?
Wouldn't know it if you listen to this podcast, but January 22nd at the St. John Paul II National Shrine in Washington, D.C., I'll be leading worship for their Evening with Merciful Jesus. Starts at 7 p.m. I'll be there with my friend Teresa. We'll be doing music. And then February 10th, hopefully this podcast doesn't debut until the evening, because I will be speaking at the Diocese of Arlington's Theology on Tap at...
so you're speaking?
Yeah,
I thought you were playing.
No, I'm doing the talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the talk?
It's titled From Kitchen to Vatican. It'll be my faith journey.
Oh, very nice. I like the title.
So that Facebook event will go live on the Diocese of Arlington Youth and Young Adult Ministry page this evening, because they have their January Theology on Taps tonight. So once those are done, they'll roll out the next month's. So come out to O'Sullivan's Pub in Arlington, and come join for some food and drink, and then listen to me talk, and we'll have a chat afterwards.
Your stuff is being announced the same day as the Oscar nominations.
Some would argue that mine is more important.
Some would.
They'd be wrong.
Yeah.
They'd also be me.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But you got to plug. I
had two. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I'm going to plug now. I have a show this weekend, folks, in Bethesda at 8 p.m. I'll be doing a couple minutes. If you need the information, it's at Positano's Restaurant.
It's probably not pronounced Positano's. If I had to guess, it's Positano's.
Fine. If you want to be like that, spent a semester in Rome. Positano's, then you can go there at 8 o'clock. It's going to be me and like two other comedians local to the D.C. area.
The Astros have fired A.J. Hinch and Jeff Lunlow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they moved past suspension. Just straight up expulsion.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well,
and Alex Cora, the Red Sox manager, is likely to be suspended as well.
Yeah, because the Red Sox got caught up in that shit, too.
Well, no, I think...
it was separate, but...
I wonder if it's from Cora's tenure as bench coach, though. So, little MLB news to wrap up the pod.
Yeah. Little MLB news to wrap up the pod. But yeah, if you're in the D.C. area, come to the show this weekend. Go see Brian's things in February. And
next Wednesday.
Well, all of you have a fucking great day. And, keep your spirits up. Laugh. Remember, life is too short not to laugh. and just anytime somebody's just being serious, just tell them, fuck off. Yeah, those are my parting words for you today. I want to thank Brian for being a chap and coming on the show. He's a chap. He's a mensch.
I have a chapstick in my back pocket. Nope, I don't.
Interesting
It's in my
place.
side pocket.
You don't want your ass to be chapped.
I'm not even getting paid for that. Oh, gosh.
Ooh. Yeah, neither am I, buddy. All right, folks. Have a good evening. Good Tuesday. Brian's putting on his chapstick to cleanse himself of whatever he just experienced on this thing. And everybody, have a good one. Bye-bye.